right, so everybody in the chat, well, not everybody, okay, I'm being a little hyperbolic, but enough people in the chat seem to believe that I'm just coping when it comes to trading away Dillingham. So I think we should just like jump on that. I know a lot of fans really love Dillingham, and like initially I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense, but that means some guys are definitely going to be gone. Like, there's no way. Initially, when we first got Castle, I said, okay, I don't really see us getting 2 point guards. But I definitely want to hear your take on it, because I personally think that those 2 picks that they got, because they got a 2031 unprotected first and a 2030 pick swap. I personally think that that's going to be either flip for something else, or even if you wait it out, 2031, you'll be a winning team. That could potentially be a pretty decent pick at that point. But what are your thoughts? I know it's forever from now, and I think that's why most people are upset.
That's kind of what I thought. I mean, I talked with you earlier this week about saying that I kind of hope we drafted Castle and then traded the pick, because I didn't really like a lot of people at 8. If Holland had fallen to 8, I may have seen it, and I'm like, I wouldn't have minded Buzelis.
Yeah. Yep.
I wasn't as high on Dillingham as some people. I liked him. I thought he'd be a good player, but I mean, Castle's pretty much said he wants to try playing the point. It was just kind of weird to draft 2 of them.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's the same thing. I feel like it's one of 3 things. It seems like they're either, dealing them there to get future picks because they just don't feel like developing 2 players out of this down draft.
Yeah.
Or 1, dealing him because they want to save money on their cap space because they're looking at, signing somebody. Or 3, dealing him because it saves space and gets them extra picks to throw in a deal for somebody to help out. That's where my mind was. I mean, I'll say it was a little perplexing to like see that happen, just because I think it's because so many people wanted Dillingham all this time that it just hit hard there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things where I wonder if we'd be looking at it the same way if we traded it before drafting Dillingham or what. But yeah, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. So I was just kind of like, but I mean,
Yeah.
Castle was my favorite prospect this year, so I got him on my team. So maybe I just can't complain because of that. So
yeah, I'm just not tripping about it that much. I mean, the only thing that I'm upset about is that we didn't get Buzelis, because I do believe in him. But then at the same time, it's like I don't want the Spurs to pick a prospect that they don't believe in. Like, oh, we have the 8, so we just have to use it. So let's grab a guy, and we actually don't believe in him. It doesn't really pan out, and now you're trading him away a few years down the line. Like, I would rather it go this direction. If you don't believe in any of the prospects left, we weren't supposed to have we made the moves to get the 8th, but it wasn't our pick. We got really lucky being able to get the 8th, and you trade away for 2 future picks. I think that you could flip that. Right. You could either wait it out, and that's forever from now. I know everybody be like, what the heck? Like, even me, a fan of me is like, oh my God, I don't want to wait that long. Or you can trade and get help now. Now somebody in the chat brought up this, and it kind of irritates me a little bit, just a little bit, just a tad bit. But they said, you're telling me that Branham, Wesley, and Champagny are better players than this number 8 pick. So in other words, better players than Dillingham. I guess Buzelis as well. Is that what they mean? I would agree with Champagny, but I think that that's highly disrespectful of Malachi Branham and Wesley. And I'm not even like the biggest like fans. Like, if the Spurs were to trade them, I won't sit here and like cry about it. But like, I think that that's kind of crazy. But maybe you have a different opinion on it, and I'm just tripping. I don't know.
I mean, look, I'm not going to disparage Malachi or Blake. No, I don't think they're franchise saviors, and I don't know if they'll be on the team in a couple years, but I don't know if I view Rob Dillingham in that light either, is the thing. Yeah. I mean, I know people will say, oh, you traded away a top 10 pick, but it's just like, I don't know. And like I said, I'm just not so mad about it because I was kind of in favor of just trading the pick anyway. especially in this draft.
Mhm.
I got my guy that I wanted to see us draft, and who knows, maybe we trade back into this draft for some reason. I mean, we still have second round picks you can use to get up there, but I don't know. I really liked Dillingham. In fact, I think I was the first one that mentioned him to you back in like August and
Mhm.
all that. But I don't know. It's maybe I need to be more serious about it. I just don't feel like it's a make or break move. It just very much feels like he's gearing up for something because
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pick swap and a first round pick. It feels like he's throwing stuff in to make an offer for something bigger.
That's what that's what I'm garnering from this, because you have so many seconds in what, 2026. You have like, is it like 6 or 5 second round picks? You got, hold on, actually I'll just bring it up instead of me just speculating what it is. Let's see, Spurs future draft picks. It's kind of crazy. Let's see. All right, so 2025 is the one we care about. And you have the Atlanta, for now, you got the Atlanta Hawks one, Charlotte one that's not going to convey. Let's just be honest. Oh, wait, I was looking at the wrong one. But yeah, the Charlotte one that's not going to convey. You got your own that might be decent, really depends. I don't think the Spurs are a playoff team, but hey, I could be wrong. And then you go into 2020, well, 2025, you have 2 or 3 second round picks. 2026, you got 2 first round picks and yeah, 5 second round picks. And then you have 2 picks in 2027, first round picks. Then you have 2 second round picks in 2027. I think I said that right. Yeah, it's a lot of picks that the Spurs have in the future. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that they're just kind of ramping something up, something big.
Yeah, I mean, either way, the thing is, pick 8 in this draft would have been similar to like a pick 14 to 16 in last year's draft.
It would have been pretty late.
I'm not broken up about it. It is what it is. We got the guy that I wanted up there at 4, who I think is a fantastic pick, and that's what it comes to.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing is, people are trashing the trade. Like I said, I don't love it, but I don't know what's going to come of it yet. It just doesn't feel like a singular move per se. So I'm going to wait and see what happens before I pass judgment on it.
That's kind of how I feel too. Like you just kind of got to give it a minute. I mean, worst case scenario here, like I said, is I expect the Spurs to be very in championship mode, hopefully a ring. I don't know, it takes a lot to win a ring, but I expect them to be a winning team by 2031. Worst case scenario, it's you got 2 first round picks in 2030, 2031, and that's great, but that's worst case scenario, and I think the fan in me is irritated by that. But best case scenario, which and probably more likely, also not just best case scenario, but most likely, is they're going to trade them. Like I don't see. I don't know. Like you said, I think this is something where you're ramping up for something else, and it's really hard to just say they've been, because I saw so many comments, dude, of they've been, not in my chat in particular, but people saying, "Oh my God, they just fleeced the San Antonio Spurs." And it's like, really, a draft pick and 2 future picks that you don't know what, really? We're going to just say they fleeced them this early? Really? That's crazy.
No, I mean, I think it's a good move for Minnesota. And this is where I think he fits better in Minnesota than us. He's going to be able to play behind Mike Conley, and he's got Anthony Edwards there. Nikhil Alexander-Walker's there. I mean, lots of guys. If we bring him in, he's thrown into the fire.
Yeah.
It's young guards. I mean, look at how Scoot Henderson started. I still believe in Scoot Henderson, but he had a rough start to the season. Yeah. I mean, it's going to take young guards a while to develop, and we drafted one in Castle. It's going to take him a bit to develop too. He's going to need all the reps he can get. To me, I was more perplexed that we took Dillingham than trading him. I was like, whoa, I thought for sure it would have been somebody else at that spot instead, but it just feels like there's more in place here than what we initially thought.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, that said, yeah, other than Buzelis, like it's this draft, man. I didn't have a whole lot of players that I loved in here,
Hmm.
so I'm just not worried about it all that much.
And we got, and we're being real, we got some guys that or we really need to fill some other positions, and maybe that's also part of the frustration here, where everyone knows that the Spurs need, more playmaking. Everyone knows the Spurs need, some better shooters. I get it, and you're like, oh, Dillingham's right there, why didn't we grab him? But defensively, he is a liability. I mean, and I was kind of perplexed. I was cool though, because I was like, okay, that just means some guys are gone. Like, I don't really see a play. If you get Dillingham at 8, I don't see a place for Malachi Branham anymore. I'm really confused of what we're going to do with Blake Wesley. Is he even a spark plug coming off the bench at this point if you got Dillingham? It was really weird, but I was like, okay, there's another move coming. There's something coming after that. But I didn't expect that move to be trade him. But look, we still need some shooters, right? I think we both agree on that. You're going to need a small forward, and we need a backup center to Wemby. You agree with that? Because I know Castle can kind of move around quite a bit. I mean, his defense is so great as well. Like, he can kind of move around, but I think we still need a small
Castle's
forward.
Arguably the best perimeter defender in the draft. Like, that is what it is. That's like his elite skill set is his defense. I mean, he played point guard in high school. He played more of a wing role at UConn. He comes in. I know he wants to be a point guard, so I'm sure he'll get some reps there. And he's one of those guys, he buys in to win. I mean, he's very Spursy in his mentality there. So I mean, I thought that was a knockout pick there. But yeah, I just, and I think Robert Dillingham's a good player. I know a lot of people wanted to take him at 4. I never wanted that and all that. So, maybe I'm biased in that respect, but I think it's the same thing as, a lot of people, we talk about Wesley and Branham. We drafted those guys back in, 2022, and here they are now, and people are wanting to get rid of them. So, I mean, what if we had traded those picks then? Would people have been mad then with the prospects that they were on the board?
Yeah.
I mean, because, Branham's a terrible defender. We know this, but, Branham was a good prospect coming out of the draft. He was considered a steal where we got him.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a lottery pick.
People have been mad if we traded that, or it's an interesting case.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a late lottery pick. We were expecting Cleveland to take him. So that was kind of a big deal.
I really thought Cleveland would take him instead of Agbaji, and then they took Ochai.
Yeah. Well, another thing, I just want to bring this up. All right, so I know a lot of fans are bummed about the 8th pick, which I get it. I'm just not. I just don't like some of the inflammatory, like, oh my God, our front office sucks. That's kind of crazy. You can be disappointed. I'm disappointed we didn't get Buzelis, right? But there's a rhyme and reason. This isn't a bad franchise we're talking about. It's not like I'm sitting back and we're the freaking Chicago Bulls, right? Like, and I can just rant about my Chicago Bulls with you. Like, we're not that. We're not the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan, and they piss me off every season. The San Antonio Spurs make really solid, sound decisions, and I'm sure there's a reason to it, right? They don't do things without rhyme or reason. But with that being said, I do want to just rub it in people's faces. Ron Holland, he landed where he should have landed. He should have been a top 5, 6, 7 overall pick. I hated all of those articles coming out saying, oh, he's going to be out of the lottery. Like, no, he deserved to be.
I never understood why people thought he would slide.
That's crazy.
To me, he's the best prospect in this class. He was always going to go top 5.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I never got that. Now, granted, same thing. It's a down year. It's a weird draft class, and it's wide open. So I think that promotes different things. But I just felt like he was concretely a top 5 talent there, and there was no way. I know people were saying we could trade down and get him. I was like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I wonder what's going to happen now. You got any? Let's say this. I won't say like any predictions, but anything you want to see happen in the next few days. My cat is all over Oh my gosh, she's shedding.
I mean, big thing is shooters. We got to add some shooters to this team. Castle's a work in progress as a shooter, so we've got to find ways to open up the floor for Wemby specifically. Whether that be, looking at them in the draft, trading back in here for shooters, or looking around the league. I mean, Brooklyn's in full tear down. I wouldn't mind looking at someone like Cam Johnson to come in and hit a couple buckets for us there.
Somebody mentioned if we thought that they were going to trade away those picks for Cam Johnson. Someone mentioned that earlier, which they're in full rebuild, so that makes sense. That would track, right? Girl, get down here.
I mean, yeah, they'll be looking to add picks. I have no idea there, but I mean, I don't know. I don't view this as a waste. I think Rob Dillingham probably would have gone around 16 or 17 in last year's draft, so I'm not sweating it here.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I was actually very happy. I think did our big boards look the same? Did it look the exact same?
Pretty similar, yeah.
Because I had Castle. I mean, I put Sar on there just because I had to, right? But I put Castle, Sar, Buzelis, Holland. Oh, you weren't as high on Cody as me, I think. I think you had.
No, to me, Cody. I mean, I like Cody Williams. I just think he's more of a project pick, and I just wasn't in favor of picking. Same reason I didn't want to draft Salon. I think Salon's going to be a fine player. I didn't want someone who was like 4 years away.
Yeah, that was my thing as well. It just didn't really make a lot of sense. Where did he end up landing? 6? Salon?
Cody Williams? No, he went a little. I think he went 10th to the Jazz.
Well, I mean Salon.
Yeah, he went 10th to the Jazz. He went right before Buzelis.
Where did Salon go?
Salon went to the Hornets at 6.
Okay, so it was 6. Okay, man, good stuff. I'm happy with this draft. I'm happy. I think we're
I mean, I always knew this draft was going to be like a weird one because like I said, it's an off year. Nothing really all that exciting about this draft for me. Nothing's really boring about this draft for me. It's just like, hey, we got another guy to use.
Yeah. Keaton is the one that's really upset in the chat. He said, I don't give 2 craps about Dillingham, but use that mother effing number 8 pick, bro. Wait, never mind. Let's play Branham and Wesley instead. That's where I think we're jumping.
Who do you get? I mean, I would have loved Buzelis, but after that, what do you get?
Yeah, I think we're jumping to conclusions a little bit here right now. Because let's be real, the San Antonio Spurs and how they're constructed right now is going to look like a completely different team in the next year. I mean, this is the Wemby era. Like it's time to start building around them. Like you gotta give it a second. It's a process trying to make a winning team.
You gotta give anybody a second. I got flamed 2 years ago because I kept telling people lay off the weed when they're talking about Blake Wesley in the summer league. He was this future all-star.
Crazy. That was crazy.
I love Blake Wesley. He seems like a great guy and he works his ass off. But I was like, come on, man.
That was
We're doing
insane.
this off of 2 summer league games. I think don't do that again here. Let's wait and see what happens here.
Yeah, just give it a minute. Cause God, this is giving a minute. Clan be real. I don't even know what I said. Did I say something? What did I say? Did I say something that was crazy? Swish, did you hear me say anything crazy? I don't think I said anything crazy. Be real. What am I talking? What'd I do?
I don't know. I mean, look, I'll tell
What?
you this.
What did I say?
If the Spurs did not draft Buzelis at 8, they have good reason for it.
That's where I'm at, dog. That's where I'm at. It's and I know it sounds bad because it's like, oh, you're just gonna go whatever the franchise. Oh, you're dogmatic when it comes to the Spurs. I know it sounds like that, but it's truly not that way. I promise you. If I had true contention with the Spurs over the last several years, and I felt like their decisions have been detrimental to the franchise, if I truly did feel that way, I would share that same sentiment. Like I would question and be skeptical of everything they do. But this team has shown, or this franchise has shown, they know what they're doing. They've shown that they can win championships. All right, let's not act like this is ancient history. All right, lots of teams been waiting forever. Some teams basically never won. I mean, so far back till you might as well just say they never won one. I think this is a competent franchise, and like you said, Swish, if they didn't do it, there's a reason they didn't do it, and regardless, I think it'll be a sound reason for not doing it. So that's why I don't get too upset or angry when it comes to Spurs. I'm gonna give them some time. I know winning teams take some time. 2024, we knew going into this draft that it wasn't the best draft in the world. 2025 is where it's at. Now, I'll be completely with you guys. If we go, a year from now, and the Spurs trade away their pick in 2025, I'd probably be pretty upset because that looks like.
If this was the 2025 draft, I'd be upset.
Yeah,
I'd be like, "What are you doing?" But it's not. It's this draft, so I just don't really care.
Yeah,
that's why. I mean, I have been saying. Granted, now I thought we could put the pick in a package to look at some stuff, but the free agency deals so far have not played out as quickly as I thought they would after the finals ended. So I just don't think there's anybody we're eyeing right now that you can really put anything there. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Okay, this is real time. Did Bronny James just get selected? Who did he get selected to?
Wait, did he really? Was it the Lakers?
Somebody said
no, he didn't.
No.
I mean, it has. They may be seeing like a Shams report or something. It hasn't been broadcast yet. Let me check.
Somebody said
I don't see it in there. I see Shams saying that the Lakers are gonna draft Dalton Connect.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, if he would go first round, that would be terrible. I think he's a second round pick.
Yeah,
that would be weird.
that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be an all chips to the center move by the Lakers to try to keep LeBron there. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be kind of sad. Knicks got back-to-back picks, 24, 25. Actually, I haven't even been keeping up with who else has been selected. You got Devin Carter at 13, Topic at 12. Topic at 12. Is that weird? Oh no, I guess it's not weird. You just got rid of Giddey.
No, he's going to the Thunder. He's going to sit out a year. They don't need him. And then they'll take a chance on him there. Then Devin Carter went to the Kings. Bub Carrington went to the Blazers, which I believe that pick got traded to Washington, so he'll go to Washington. Khalil Ware to the Heat, and then Jared McCain to the Sixers. McCain to the Sixers is an interesting pick.
This one right here, the Topic to the Thunder, I guess they did that because of Giddey, right?
I mean, yeah, I think it's also just, that's the kind of guy Presti likes. He takes a swing on something. He doesn't really need any rookies this year. I mean, They just got Caruso. They've got, they're going to be active on the trade market, and they're going to be trying to sign somebody. I mean, might as well take him, let him sit for a year. If he turns out to be great, you've got a guy to trade or use, and if not, no love lost.
Yeah. Dylan Lopez says, wasn't the most fun of a draft party, but here's to Wemby, year 2, and another year of Clan. Yay! I think
I'm just happy that we get the summer league soon. I have been so sick of arguing about this draft. Same. And now it's finally here. We know who we've got, and we can move on there.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. It's good stuff.